Hi everyone, I'm Miguel Rivera, and this is Real Talk with Miguel Rivera. You're listening to Real Talk with Miguel Rivera, a podcast that inspires individuals to connect, build community, and pursue their passion. My name is Miguel Rivera, and I'm an educator, community advocate, and executive director of Dream Big Project. And I'm sitting down with passionate and inspiring individuals to talk about their stories, the lessons they've learned, and how they're making an impact. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 3 of Real Talk with Miguel Rivera. I have with me the great Pratibha Dey. Pratibha Dey is a visionary, author, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, teacher, and the founder of Chai Together LLC. Pratibha has overcome numerous adversities in the South Asian culture. Her academic background is in interpersonal communication and education. She's an advocate for women, children, and the elderly on her show Chai Together, where she advocates for mental health and physical well-being. Her upcoming book is entitled Resiliency, a Women's Journey from Scarcity to Success. I love that title, by the way. Pratibha, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Miguel. Thank you.
I love that title.
It was during the time when I was earlier on in Les's program, and I remember the words scarcity and success being thrown around. I honestly cannot tell you how that title came about. It's something that just happened. Like, I don't remember the exact moment, but I know resiliency is something that I wanted as part of my book because that's, my whole life story. But from scarcity to success, I can't remember how that came about.
I love just the focus on resiliency. It really stood out to me. So I think that your book is going to be phenomenal. So
Thank you. Originally, I was going to state, it was going to be a South Asian woman's journey from scarcity to success. And then I remember my coach, Mr. John Tellerico, said, possibly, with marketing and things, don't know how well. So then I just went with, a woman's journey so it can relate to all women, not just particularly South Asian.
Right.
Yeah.
I think just the testimony in general, I think would be very impactful. Mm-hmm. I know from just knowing your story a little bit about that, I think, global, it'll be very impactful for women everywhere. That's awesome. So what have you been up to?
Yeah.
What have you been up to recently?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of lives for Chai Together and digging deeper into people's journeys. I'm starting to do more of segments where I bring people back for like a part 2, part 3. My focus is also on, creating a mental health program for Chai Together that can, really serve and provide value for a lot of people. And, before this recording, you touched on the fact that how many people it can help, especially after coronavirus, which I wasn't actually thinking about. And today the book cover, for my book collaboration, Hunger for the Hustle, came out, which is amazing. And I'm going to be going to Bali in June. So that's all happening today, all that discussion.
That's a lot of goodness. That's a lot of greatness within itself right there. I like it. Yeah. The book that you mentioned that dropped today, Can you talk about that?
Oh, it didn't drop today, just the cover.
Oh, just the cover. Yeah. Ooh. So what does the cover look like? Who's all featured on the cover?
The cover is it's a target with an arrow. The book is black. I don't have it to show, but it's a black base with a target with an arrow, and it says Hunger for the Hustle. 33 stories, of people. Mm-hmm.
So is it like chapter based? Like each chapter is a new story?
Each chapter is a different person's story. Their hunger for the hustle. Mm-hmm.
And so these individual stories, how did each of you all of you know each other or?
Yeah, so this stems from, I believe, our Master Your Mind group, Bob Proctor's Master Your Mind group. With John Tellerico. However, not everyone is from the group. Some are from Power Voice. You were in Mr. Les Brown's Power Voice.
Yeah.
There, and I believe just a few people from social media engagements that the people that are creating this is Mr. Michael Bridgman and Jake Fowler. They're the ones collaborating
Nice.
with everyone and funding it. So,
Oh, okay.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
they created the whole thing and gathered
Yes.
all oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
And
That's awesome.
I just saw today that I will actually be audioing my chapter as well. So I'm going to be reading my book chapter for the book
That's
when it's
that is cool.
possibly, yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Wow. When I read that, I didn't know that
Right?
myself. Um, it's actually interesting because I was never on any of the Zoom calls for this collaboration. My name was left out in the email possibly. And, I just hopped on it and did it, but I didn't know, they say you have to jump. Like, I didn't know what it was about really, or how it's being funded or any of the questions. I just did it. I knew that I wanted to be a part of the collaboration and the rest just unfolds itself. Like, I didn't know I was going to be reading my own chapter for, a book collaboration. Like, I would never think that as the old Pratibha would think, like how far I've come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just realize like, wow, like just the impact of
Wow.
your words, your stories, and just
Yeah.
everything
Like I'm
about that.
officially an author. Like it counts, even if it's not your full book yet.
No,
So
yeah, absolutely. It's like when, when people, that reminds me, people do like when you're involved in a film and you
yeah.
do one thing, your name is in the credits, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you want that because
Yeah.
that's everybody contributes in some way, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of what size, large, or small. Like,
Yeah.
you definitely made a difference within that itself. I think that's awesome. Please let me know when that releases, when I could check
Mm-hmm.
it out myself. I'll be down to check that out. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, you talked about a program, COVID, the
Mm-hmm.
conversation we had prior to this,
Yeah.
connecting all that together. Can you tell me more about that program?
So it's going to be 8 steps to better your mental health. And, it stems from Chai Together. I started Chai Together last year, 2020 summer. That's also when I met you. You were the very, very first people to be on my show. So thanks for that. You never forget the ones who support,
Oh,
from the beginning.
right.
And I really loved our interview and my background and just, it was a different energy in summertime than the weather here now. But yeah, so the program is going to be a support group incorporated with 8, steps they can take. It's going to be a weekly live once a week with me and for 12 weeks. And if people want to work with me further, then they can work with me further. That's going to be something separate. But I really wanted to, do more and create more because I don't find just, having a video podcast on mental health being enough. Like I need to take some actionable steps to help people. And how can I also grow at the same time and monetize for me, monetize, pronounce for me, Miguel.
No, I know it. Monetize.
Yeah, but I was gonna say the full word, monetization.
Oh,
Thank you.
monetization. Yeah, you got
I
it.
never get caught up on that word, but today I did. That's funny.
It
But
happens.
anyway, that's one thing, but it's another thing to do it for the right intent and right reason, not just
Right.
because money comes and goes and it will only go further, if your heart is in it. So as I was having a challenge recently creating it, I felt that my heart wasn't in it. And because I didn't know what I was doing, most people, have their books and have courses and things, but it's actually not easy to create all of this stuff, you
Yeah,
know?
you're right. It's not. It
Mhm.
requires a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot
Yeah.
of even research if you don't know where to go or how to go about it. And sometimes that requires conversations and input from others, right? And I think that's where I think when it comes to putting something together, it's definitely time and effort that a lot of people don't want to put as much in. Like a lot of people just kind of want to make a million in a day and move on. But
Yeah.
when it comes from the ground up, at least from my experience, right, with Dream Big and creating the
Yeah.
programs within Dream Big and
Wow.
even projects outside of that,
Mhm.
it requires time, requires effort, and people. And when you don't have those people, it may require more time and more effort when you're doing it on your own. But I think overall, it's a very exciting thing.
Yeah.
And for me, what allowed me to just kind of push through it and create an organization, create programs, and, do all that's required, I think is my why, purpose, the impact, and the need for the people, right? I didn't, to be honest, I didn't go into it, not saying that anyone or this is what people do, but I think a lot of people get it mixed up sometimes. Like, are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it because you want to do it and you love it, and you'll do whatever it takes, right? Because if we're going into it for the wrong reasons and we're leaning onto things that don't necessarily align with our values and our goals and, just our main purpose, then things start to get a little confusing and we lose patience and we don't really know where we're going. But I think for me, it was just like, it doesn't matter. I'm not doing it for me. This is something that's bigger than me and bigger than us as far as like the team. So I think the heart, the passion was enough for me to figure it out, right? And and at the same time, just that self-education, because I didn't go to school for public service, right? Or like nonprofit management or any of that, right? I learned from experience, learned from conversations like you and I have had in the past, and even now. So I think that's kind of my experience from kind of building something from nothing, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you see a lot of people going to, get business degrees to start a business. You don't need to.
Right.
This information,
So much. Like, you don't, I didn't understand at first why people, and I'm not saying this to offend anyone or anything like that. Everyone has their own choices and can make their own decisions. But a lot of times there was this comment that people would make about people going to get their master's in business, right? And it's like, you can educate yourself on business, and a lot of business is doing, right? Like testing, experimenting, right? And especially entrepreneurship, right? Like it's when you want to do so many different things, different types of businesses, small, large, scale them at different levels. And of course, I think that education, as far as like a master's in business, whatever area the focus is in, I think will be extremely beneficial. But, I know just going into a program like Les Brown's, John Tellerico's and others, right? You take so much from that, which is either free sometimes or very much cheaper than a graduate business degree.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think we were talking about this earlier, student loan debt, right? Like just going to college and accumulating all this debt. And then like what happens after that? Not even a possibility of not landing in, a career or an occupation in that field that you went to school for. Like that would just be like, taking out loans for that and then not working in that field. That's not necessarily a good thing, but I think just touching up on the point, not needing to go into debt to get that education to learn how to do something or start something is a good lesson and something to think about before diving into $80,000 loan for grad school or whatever it may be. But,
one thing I want to say is it reminds me of small businesses, even people in other countries who start, chai stalls. That just comes to mind, like a small shop on the street, or, even foreigners, immigrants who come here, you see the Chinese stores, you see the Chinese food stores, you see other businesses all made by people who didn't even go to school,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the doing and the why that you said. Yeah. Because
definitely.
Education, they make it work with what they got,
Right, exactly. And it's I always forget, but who says this, but someone said
Yeah.
something about like, you really don't know until you try, or you don't know
Yeah.
until you have no other choice, right? You have no
Mhm.
options.
Oh, is
And
it Bob Marley's you don't know how strong you are until that's the only option you have? Or
oh, no, but that's a good one
no, that's a
too.
different one. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? Like
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
have no other choice, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's do it. Like
Mhm.
let's get to it. And I feel like if you can adopt that approach, whether you have choices or not,
Mhm.
then that's gold, right? Like
Yeah.
if you can take that approach and be like, all right, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I don't,
Yeah.
I think more of us can adopt that approach. But
Yeah.
again, it's not everybody is obsessed with improvement that much, as much
Yeah,
as
it's
you
unfortunate.
as
Like
much
I
as
know
you and I
right
are,
now
right?
yeah. What'd you say?
I said as much as you and I are.
Yeah, no. I know that myself, I have well, that's why we surround ourselves with the right people, OQP, only quality people.
Oh yeah, OQP, I love that.
But I know I have, $19,000 plus some of student loan debt right now, but I'm going to do my best to not have it, because during COVID and things. So let's see what can happen, but it's definitely nothing that will stop me. And I'm grateful and blessed that it's only 19. Most people have a higher number. So for me to have
Yeah,
and two other associates with only that much, like I'm grateful.
right, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know some people who have it in six figures, and it's like, what?
No.
That's outrageous.
That's
But
causing yourself stress, costing yourself things that you don't need to do. It's a choice, like you said.
and I think at the same time too, it's unfortunate that just the structure of
That belief.
right, the belief was instilled in us, and at the same time,
Yeah.
it's like, you go to school, especially if you want to be a doctor, like a lawyer, school is,
Mm.
you have to go that route.
Yes.
Um, and it's unfortunate that it's kind of the system plays a huge role in this, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're controlling it, but it's kind of like it's just unfortunate that it's got to this point where people believe they have to go to school to, kind of pursue their dream and that's not necessarily the case, right?
Yeah.
I just kind of going back to thinking about the conversations around adolescence, like, okay, you graduate from high school, now it's time to go to college. Like, there's options there.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to college right out of high school. Like, there's so many different things you can do,
Yeah.
and especially learning about like what it is you want to do first, right? Maybe exploring that a little bit more. But the reason why I bring this up, it came to mind that just it's almost automatic for students to
Mm.
think that they have to go to college right out of high school.
Yeah.
And students can sign off on a loan going out of high school, but they can't they don't have access to so many other things, but they can sign off on a $60,000 loan. It just
Yeah.
it just
Or
kind of
even
like
military, some take
right,
the route. They take that route because they either don't have a safe home, they need to get out, they want to get out of the environment, or it's just the easy route because they don't want to go to college. They end up enrolling in military when it's not even their dream.
right, exactly. And I was just I just did a recording with Isaac, who's in the military right now. He went to the military straight out of high school,
Yeah.
and he's loving it. Right, like that.
Mhm.
He's aligned with that. Like that is his
Yeah.
why. That is his purpose. So
Mhm.
he feels that he made the right choice, and
Yeah. It
you know,
definitely does discipline. That's one thing. It can bring discipline into people's lives. It's an experience you have. It could be short term or you can do the full military
oh yeah,
until you're retired.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the point is just the system, like the role that the system plays in higher education is very um, that it can be very damaging.
Yeah. The laws
Um,
need to be changed. I was just speaking to someone prior to the call that I had, and they want to build their own school, in the States somewhere, and they have to change a law in order to do so because they don't want to go by
mm,
school routine that they have the way of teaching. They want to change it. In order to change that, they have to change the law,
yeah.
all because they don't want to teach the same way. They want to teach more holistically and things.
Mm.
Yeah.
I really like the holistic approach. I think
Yeah.
there needs to be more of that.
Yes.
At least start with the conversation, right? Like it's more
Yeah.
regarding what it is and the benefits of it. I don't even think there's conversation around,
No, I don't
that
know of any
approach.
holistic schools here. It's only,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I know of Sadhguru, the Isha Foundation, that has, holistic schooling, but
And I think that
yeah.
um, that just reminds me how eventually with Dream Big, I want to bring a
Oh,
wellness center to the community, right?
yeah.
So in its own way, that'll have its holistic approaches within it, right? Just wellness
Wow.
in general. So as far as like the services and counseling and programs within it, definitely
Wow.
want to. That's where we're going. That's the direction we're going for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. I think we all are, and looking forward to that. But yeah,
Wow.
hopefully that works out.
It will. It already
It
has.
is, right? It's already happening, right?
Yeah.
I
That's how we
love
talk,
that.
and every time we get together on a call. Always.
It's already happening, huh?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So the book, what about you? So you mentioned the cover of a book that you're featured in dropped today, but earlier
Yeah.
you also talked about your own personal book, right?
Yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
that I will be, my goal is to publish it this year as well. I will write a date down for when, because until you don't put a date, you don't take those actionable steps. But
Right.
one major thing I've been doing,
I like that, by the way. Can you repeat that?
huh?
Can you repeat that?
Until you put a date, you don't take the actionable steps.
Got to put a date on it, right? Because if not, you don't know where you're going. You're just gonna,
Yeah, you need a date.
yeah, a deadline. Oh,
Yeah.
like for real
Got my
though.
goal
Like,
card here. Yeah. For Chai Together. But the one thing I've been doing most is speaking. A lot of speaking almost daily now that I'm completed my degree at school. My bachelor.
hey, congratulations.
Yeah, it's not easy, as in the entrepreneurial route while completing a bachelor's degree, while traveling for speaking engagements, while interviewing and caregiving for my mom who has a mental illness. I really balanced a lot, and I almost cut it off with school. I almost dropped out again because I was overwhelmed, and I was only less than a month to graduation, and I almost gave up, but I didn't. So
Wow.
show you, I pulled through, and now I graduated, and I'll be walking.
Hell yeah.
Like what?
Hey, what? Good job,
Yeah.
Pratibha. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
I've been
what's up.
guest speaking more. I've been guest speaking more. I've been chatting more with individuals aligned in, my mental health field. Um, really talking to people more now.
The the speaking engagements that you've been
Yeah.
involved in, have those all been virtual? And how do you come across those?
Yeah, I'm a really great networker. I am called the Source Mama by my coach and mentor, Mr. Michael Baptiste. And I've connected
Nice.
numerous people over the last 6 months. And I'm really, my coach says universal of speed, Mr. John Tellerico says that. And I'm really fast with connecting. Like I connected with you. I reach out to people as soon as I see them and get talking with them.
Nice. That's a great skill right there. I think a lot of people don't
Yes.
do that. So
I move
you
fast.
move real quick. That's what's up. Got to make those
Yes.
connections. What
Yeah.
wa- what was your name? What was your superhero name? Mama what?
Oh, the Source Mama.
The Source Mama. There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
The Source.
And we were mentioning creating like a clothing line or something, but then it's like all about moms. It sounds like it's all about moms, but yeah,
The
networking is,
Source Mama.
yeah. A lot of people tell me that I'm a great networker. People, who have known me in the program and all, and that it's not something I have to say to people. They just can see it and they know it.
And were you always comfortable communicating with people, networking, doing
Yes,
that?
it's so interesting that I've been this way my whole life, but now it's come to more fruition and more of a purpose directed lifestyle than just networking for nothing. I used to always just hit up people, talk to people, but it's not getting anywhere. This is for a purpose and a cause. That's the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the right people, not just anybody, quality
It's
people.
it's strategic, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's certain people to go to for certain things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
And how long, I guess, when would you say you started just kind of building your why, or at least contributing to your why, and
Mm.
working on that? Like when did you start doing that?
The first time was when I created my 3-minute video for Mr. Les Brown's,
Mm,
that was the first time I spoke on camera, like as in recorded myself and spoke. And so I had already created the Chai Together channel on YouTube, but nothing was on it. I already had
mm,
and then once I did that, then I created solo videos, such as you created your one solo video. I did a few of those. Then I finally interviewed Kavan, and then I interviewed you as one of the first people. And now I just do lives.
so I was literally one of the first people on your channel.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's real cool. And you've been wanting to, so you started doing it once you joined Les's program, or you were
Yeah,
already
it gave
doing
me
it?
the confidence. The thing is,
Mm,
like I always wanted to create something. Like I always saw, Humans of New York, Humans of Bombay, like, interview people. Like I, studied some journalism, and I used to interview when I was like 19, and I was always outgoing and going to Philly, and people thought I was like a manager for like artists, and because I was so outgoing and networking, but I didn't
mm,
really have a direction. I used to just be over here and be over here. But the thing is, the Power Voice, it really gave me my power voice. Like I'm someone who actually lived it, not just someone who joined the program, oh, did the homework or something. I honestly didn't even do the homework. Like I never
right.
completed Les Brown's homework. I lived it instead of a workbook. Like
Mm,
we lived it. Like I
I
studied
feel that.
every day. Yeah, I studied quotes every day for like 30 days, and that's how they're in my mind. I literally studied day and night. Like I was,
You
it's
put in the work.
I did, and it showed. And then I was on the summit. I was on Les's website, which is surprising. I still am on his website.
Nice. That's what's up.
So it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you put in the work, and that's a lot of people don't like putting in the work, right? Like
No.
everybody wants $1 million, but nobody wants to
Yep.
put in the work.
I woke up at 5 a.m., go to sleep whenever, I don't know, whenever I'm done. I didn't allow myself to sleep until I, studied, did what I had to do. I really had that drive. Yeah. I
Right.
say
Like you don't
only
you
because
you what? You what?
I say had only because I've been sleeping in.
Mm,
Instead of waking up early as 5. So
no, sometimes that's, rest is
I've been
essential.
resting.
Yeah, there you go. You don't go to sleep when you're tired, you go to sleep when you're done. That's
Hey.
that's that's you know what I mean? Like that's the motto right there. It's not when you're tired, it's when you're done.
Yeah.
And,
And you know
and
how Les says, persistence is the work that you put in after you're tired. That's what persistence
mm,
is.
love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Say that. Persistence
The
is
work you put
what?
in after you're tired.
Dang, love that. Shout out to Les Brown for that one.
Yeah.
I brought up some questions on the, earlier on the form as you completed,
Yeah.
and I wanted to bring those up.
Hmm.
And I had asked you a sliding door moment in your life where things could have gone a different way.
Hmm.
And you said at 16,
Yeah.
gotten therapy sooner.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. What do you,
Yeah, at
yeah.
16 when I was it's when I was first physically abused by a family member, and it really I really needed help, and I told that specific family member, the same one I was abused by, that I need therapy, and I was 16. So for me to not know anything about mental health and somehow bring up that I need therapy, that I had an awareness that I needed therapy, and then
Mm,
me for it, stating that no, I don't, because there's a mental health stigma, and it's
right.
interesting that I knew what I needed for myself, but my family at the time didn't allow that. So if I would have gotten help right at that time when I was hurt, emotionally, verbally, physically, everything, then I wouldn't have carried on to have clinical depression for the rest of my life until last year, because I no longer suffer from that. Suicide ideations, body dysmorphia, that led, not healing myself at that young age because of what happened, led me to have more issues as I grew older. So yeah, that's my one sliding door moment to find help.
And so you you wanted therapy,
Yes.
you wanted to seek it, but you didn't receive it
Yes,
at
because
16.
adults don't take children seriously, like I need
Mhm.
what I needed, but at 16, how much can I do? The power is in other people helping me. But at that time, even, my school counselor didn't help me. The police didn't help me. When I went to them for help, they laughed at me actually. And I stopped believing in the police system. I hated cops because they didn't help me when someone was beating on me. And, they didn't put them in jail. Like they didn't do anything about it. And that person continued being abusive. And they're now out and about, like no one did anything to put them in jail or anything. They never, and I believe until this day, they feel guilty for what they did because they know that I don't look at them the same and I don't have respect for that person. So
That's terrible.
yeah, it's pretty shit.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if I
fucking
curse.
no, you can curse on here. No, you can curse all you want on here. That's fucking terrible.
There's reasons why this isn't about the police, but there's reasons why, I lost faith in God. Like I stopped believing in God. I was an atheist. Like I hated people. I hated my life. I hated myself. I hated my skin. Like that one incident, that one sliding door moment, it could have all been prevented. Right. So now what you and I, you have your organization and I've tried together. My goal, I would love to tackle that before someone even gets hurt. Like to prevent.
Right. Preventative.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's about. I'm very happy to be speaking with you now.
Right.
After just all these experiences, I think you and I both had some very impactful experiences that really caused or really led us to certain things. So just to kind of acknowledge that.
I'm glad that time is over because no one suffered for years. I suffered 12 years, 16. I just turned 28. My whole life, I suffered those years that shouldn't have been filled with clinical depression and trauma. Like no child should be thinking about killing themselves, Those
exactly.
should be of like prom and stuff. Prom didn't happen for me. None of that stuff happened for me. Like my life was unbearable. Like I wanted to die. It's for these like 12 years.
And that started at 16?
Yeah. Well, the first abuse happened at 5, but I didn't know any better. That was sexual abuse from a family member when I was 5. I just now started speaking about that. So that's incest. So
right.
There you go. Like that's a new word. And I learned through Mr. Les Brown when someone else shared their story of incest. I'm like, wow, that was me. Some things you suppress, you don't realize until you're like, wow, I can talk about this. Me, but and then it was molestation by other family members. And when I moved to the States, that's something separate that carried on for a few years. Then at 16, it was a physical abuse. But at this time,
wow.
And those people who did it, they're separate people and they didn't know that this had already happened to me. Now they're doing something else to me. And then after that, someone else did something to me. They don't know that I've already been through these things because I never voiced myself. I was a shy girl. I was like quiet, yeah.
What? And you said these were family members?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How were they immediate family members? I mean, I don't mean to go into that, but that's it. Just right away, it just kind of it's not only frustrating, it's beyond frustrating. It makes me upset, and and it's just unfortunate that you had to go through such a terrible, extremely unfortunate experience, trauma, the abuse, just but look at you now, everything you're doing now.
Oh yeah.
Outstanding. And you're using your story.
Yeah. I'm unstoppable now. There's nothing that I don't find that life can do to me or that anyone can do to me. I don't allow anyone to abuse me. I don't allow anyone to physically hit me or any of those kind of people into my life. I will hit you back. So let it be known that I will F you up.
There you go.
Out of respect, I didn't do that. But, they hit me again last year, actually. Someone put their hands on me. Yes. From my family.
How was this?
At me. Because I wasn't listening. I'm 27 at the time. This is another aspect of my story. This is after my abortion and someone hit me. And that's when I lost it. Enough is enough. I have been through enough that I'm now a mom who has lost 2 children, twins at the time. And that's the last thing I need is someone else putting their hands on me. So I slapped that person back. They're old. So out of respect, I don't do that. I don't like violence or hitting people, but you do this to me, I'm going to do the same thing to you now. Cause I'm a grieving mom. So you shouldn't this time.
Oh yeah.
You will get these hands. So that person has been out of my life since, and they know they will get these hands if you ever try to come near me again.
Yep.
So you better run.
No, yeah, absolutely. You're protecting yourself, right? Nobody should be putting hands on anybody over for what,
that's when I went from victim to, survivor. And now like more than that, there was like level of victim because I allowed them to hit me, I'm in shock and grieving already from this loss that I had. And then someone wants to put their hands on me. Oh no, like that's the end of that.
Yeah.
No fear. It's like, you want to kill me, kill me. There's nothing more you can do than someone who has been through like a traumatic experience at the time. There's nothing that can happen.
Right, exactly. And like you said, now you touch me, you're about to catch these hands.
Yes.
Because it's not happening again.
The respect is out. I don't care how you're older than me. You and then, after I hit the person back, they said, oh my God, like, did you just do that to me? Did you just do that to me for all these years? Yeah. And not me to hit you back now? You got me messed up.
I'm about to pop you.
I should have hit that person a long time ago when they were hitting me. I was so innocent and so respectful that I allowed you to beat on me because I felt weak. I'm not weak anymore. I just lost 2 kids out of my womb, through surgery. You think that you can scare me? You don't scare me at all. You look pathetic to me, like my thinking.
I'll beat your ass just straight up.
It just got so real. And it's like, I don't want to curse as much, but it's really like,
no, go.
So small to me. Right. Like the person who abused me all of these years and you're so small to me, like get out of my face. Like you're not worth it.
I was going to say that you're not even worth it.
Like shame on you. And you have kids yourself. Shame on you if your kids ever found out that the stuff you do to other people, they're small. They don't know. When they grow up, they found out what kind of person you are. You think they're going to want to talk to you? I don't think so. I was like,
I'm like, ooh, I'm fired up now. Like
I'm fired up.
I feel like, just during really difficult times, how I react, I just get fired up. Like, let's do something. Not to like do something in a dangerous, crazy way, but it's like, no, this person or whatever it is.
Oh no,
this ain't cool. Like something needs to be done, and in a way that it needs to be, this needs to be exposed. And that's kind of like my frustration or fired up. You know what I mean? Like, heck no. So, I'm well, first off, number one, glad to be with you here today. Thank goodness you made it through. You are alive.
Seriously.
And you're crushing it, right? You're crushing it. So continue doing what you're doing because you're doing amazing.
Yeah.
To these people and these individuals are just straight up, trash, like filthy.
They are.
Like you're trash, I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna waste my words besides you're trash.
They want a punching bag. I was their punching bag, I was their punching bag over the years because I'm young, right? I'm a kid. I can't do anything. They find me helpless, right? Taking their anger out. It's like, you never got your help yourself. You use people as physically a punching bag. They didn't even do nothing. I didn't even do anything to you. You just want to beat on me for no reason. You have some psyche issues.
Right, exactly.
You need to watch Chai Together, you fool. Like, watch my show.
And I'm about to pay, and I'm about to charge you more than I'll charge anyone else. Man, that's outrageous. Like, that says more about that person than anything. Like they got some serious problems and cannot look inward or refuse to. And
they don't do any self-development. They don't read. They don't do anything positive for other people. Like, goodbye. Like you're not worth it.
You had mentioned police, counselors, and maybe others
Oh, it was
didn't
a
help
social
you?
worker. Yeah. My social worker. Yeah.
So how did they not help you? Like
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? It's so interesting. I was telling my counselor at school when I was in high school, and I told him what's going on at home, and she didn't take any steps to help me and told me, oh, she understands. She's a different culture too, but not my culture. But I don't remember her helping me at all. And I told her what happened with me. I think this is, a lot of trauma is a blur, but I told her, I was like getting beat up at home and she didn't do anything.
That's outrageous because
Yeah,
she's a mandated reporter. She has to. She can lose
yeah.
her credential, everything.
No,
That's
nothing happened.
outrageous.
I don't remember seeing her again. I don't really even remember her face. I just know she was not of my ethnicity. And the second thing is, yeah, when I had went to the police with a few of my friends, then they took me and they actually put me in a jail cell. I never really discussed this, but they put me in a jail cell.
What?
Family came to pick me up because they had said that I'm Americanized now. They lied on my name, said I ran away from home because I'm Americanized, but they forgot to say that they beat me up at home. And the police said that my statement is a lie, that what I wrote to the police is a lie because I had no proof of any scars. And this is me, 16 years old, and I was in a jail cell.
Wow.
I
So
don't even
many
know if
things
that's
wrong
legal.
there.
I don't even know if this is legal. That is some ridiculous shit. And I remember that police officer actually being Hispanic and laughing with my abuser and
What
sending me back
the?
home. And if
Oh,
today, I know I can connect with him today because someone that I know that I went to school with at the time even said what I had went through to the police officer through my Facebook messages. People, my friends, my age were saying that what's happening to her at home, but nobody did anything at that station, sent me right back home. Anything could have happened. I could have been killed.
that,
Um,
that's outrageous. Straight up
and,
bullshit.
I was talking to my therapist about this, that, if I were to meet that police officer, I would like say, of course they don't remember you, but you impacted my whole damn life. Like I possibly should get in touch with them and be like, let me just tell you how you could have done things differently as a police officer, if they're still alive till this day, because he's kind of old. But you should get fired. Like you should quit your job, you know?
Should expose his ass. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you say you can get in contact with this
Well, yeah,
police
I know
officer.
someone who knew him, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
you know what? The friend that I was spending time with after school, it was one of the reasons why I had been physically abused because a person thought I was hoeing around at a young age. Okay. I was going to Dairy Queen, eating pizza with a female friend that I had. And her friend, the friend that I was spending time with, her mom actually knows that police officer. Okay. And I can still get in touch with her till this day, that same person. So she can definitely tell me who that police officer was. Or if I possibly go back to the station, ask, I don't know if they keep records and see what's in my file over there. I
It
would like,
should. Yeah, it should
but
be
yeah, they
keeping
took my
records.
statement and they said my statement's a lie. Like I wrote down everything happened to me. I don't even know if they read it. I wrote down, how I was being beat up and things. And they lied on my name and said that I'm Americanized now and I'm running away. I never said that. So there was
Wow.
all trust was gone from my family. I hated my mom, hated my dad, everybody who supported the person. I was just done. I was shut down. I suffered clinical depression. I had no friends. I wanted to die at 16.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And the social worker never came back.
That is outrageous. Because police officers, mandated reporters, social workers, mandated reporters, and they completely ignored your needs and the
Oh, yeah.
problem and everything. That's just outrageous.
This is the first time I believe I'm speaking about it. Oh, yeah. Like on a podcast. Yeah.
Appreciate you just your vulnerability.
Yeah. I had
It's
to recognize it myself when Black Lives Matter happened in that same,
mhm.
right? The same police
Mm.
they were doing so much. They had done so much. And there was a group created for it. That's what reminded me like, wow, there's so much injustice in this town and that other people went through the same stuff that I did, but nobody ever did anything about it.
Right. And I think just the police training alone is something that needs to
Yes.
be completely thrown out the window and created over again, because it's terrible. That was just one question and we unpacked all of that. I just appreciate you sharing and your vulnerability.
Yeah, I don't fear it anymore. I don't fear. Yeah.
You mentioned seeing a therapist. Is that then, or is that now, or when
Oh, that's now. Since the summer,
okay.
since May until now, I've had the same.
Nice.
I can say she's possibly, if not the only reason or one of the reasons why I have this new life is I owe it to my therapist to have the life I do now.
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Shout out to Anonymous.
Hey.
Yeah.
Are there any other kind of practices, self-care practices?
Oh yeah, I do a lot.
Okay. Good. That's awesome. Yeah.
I do stuff daily. I definitely show gratitude and speak it to myself. I pray morning and night, like as in to myself. I always, when I wake up before I go to sleep, I say, thank you, God, for giving me another day for my purpose towards my dream. I repeat that so many times. I always say with the monetization, I said it right.
There you go.
That, I'm so happy and grateful. Money flows to me easily from numerous sources in large quantities on a continual basis. Aside from that aspect, candles, you always see candles. I always do that.
Love the plants.
Yeah. Audiobooks, really deep breathing and I give gratitude for my food before I eat it. And genuinely, because I lived in Thailand last year and then I was homeless and I was broke. I didn't have money for food. This time during my pregnancy, and to know that I didn't have a hot meal from home and that 1.5 million people, including kids, are hungry today. I say the whole spiel every time before I eat. And honestly, these things have been life-changing for me, just these things that I do. And listening and surrounding myself with the right stuff. Like I don't watch garbage, things that don't educate me. Shit.
Right.
I only watch inspiring, positive movies. I don't watch horror. I don't watch news. I don't have a television.
That toxicity.
Yeah. Oh, look at you.
I know. I was like, I had to pronounce every word, every letter.
Self-care though, I have a surprise. So I will be Reiki trained next week with Tara Natalie. If you know the singer Jay Sean, she's his wife.
Okay.
Incredible. But
nice.
Reasons, but I've been following her for a while, and she actually, this necklace is from her line. This is not like sponsored or anything. But
oh, cool.
Reiki charged it for me about forgiveness for when I had my abortion, and I didn't tell her details, but I told her to do it for me about forgiveness, and she personally sent this to me. And for my birthday as my gift, I bought it. So
happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thanks. I'm going to train with her on about Holy Fire Reiki to see how I can heal myself more. And I've been speaking to a hypnotherapist who's showed me some tools, and I've been speaking to a psychiatrist, and I've really been doing journaling about, healing those times of abandonment and things that have been brought up. But everything has really been about investing in myself, investing in myself.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. Leading with gratitude, positive self-talk.
Yeah, all day. Look
all
in the
day
mirror.
long.
I say I'm amazing. I'm consistent. I'm dedicated. I'm determined. I take action now. My name is Pratibha Dey. I'm the number one motivational speaker globally, and the whole spiel. Like I talk like that every day.
Speak it into existence. There you go. Hey, there you go.
That was a stiff one on purpose. No, I really love myself. I really do.
You're unique. There's only one you.
Yeah.
Right? What is it? One of a kind. I asked you, what do you think people underestimate about you the most?
Yeah.
You had replied with my resiliency because of my smile and them not knowing my full story.
Oh, yeah. This was said on another podcast that the podcast host, he said what people may feel about me is that my life is easy because I'm happy, like my smile. A lot of people in comments and stuff, oh, they would have never known this about me because of my smile. And like, because I am happy, like I'm able to come out on the other side, but they don't know my story. And when I fully tell people my story like this, the people who hear it, they may know pieces like abortion or this and that, but like my whole story, it's like, how does someone survive that? Like, how do you survive that? You know?
Right, exactly. And that's why your story is so powerful and why you are so inspiring and powerful. And
Yeah.
it's
Resiliency
really
is how I build it. I built my resilience. Like I knew that I knew that I wanted the pain to end, but I knew I didn't want to kill myself. And I knew that I'm going to be coming out of this, that I wanted like a revenge at the time. You know,
right.
like, you're not just going to F me up and then me not do anything. Like I'm going to get out of this.
Right. Amen. There you go. Yes, you are. As a matter of fact,
That's a good thing.
I had asked you something you do regularly, a practice or a habit that is challenging but totally worth it. And you had mentioned affirm to myself and pray along with that, along with gratitude.
Oh yeah, I just said that.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how impactful has that been for you?
Really impactful. I'm stable every day. Like I have a stable mindset. I'm happy every day. I choose to be. I follow a lot of Sadhguru and teachings and meditation. And it's not meditation where I'm sitting for a long period of time. Like meditation is just me taking a few deep breaths, like in between, like talks, like, podcasting or anything. It's, it really is impactful when you care about and are mindful about everything you do. Like I told you, I pray over my food. Most people just hurry up and eat or something. I really care about what I'm doing with my life. Everything that I have, from these plants to candles. There was a time where I didn't even have money for it. Literally, I'm thankful for everything I have, and money flows to me easily. Like I told you what happened with me today. Like I got a commission, and it's things happen for me,
A law of attraction.
Yeah.
Just all of that. I think what you're putting out is coming back in different forms. And I think it's powerful.
Everything.
Yeah.
This is my first piece of everyday necklace. Before I didn't wear necklaces. I don't know why, but the fact that I'm able to purchase this for myself, the fact that I can have anything that I desire, and that there's a time where I didn't just a year ago, means a lot to me. From a year, I'm able to buy this equipment to podcast, from the lights to these lights to the speaker, in general, and just be here, Be
here. I love that. I was just going to comment on that. I love how in the moment you are with everything. I think that's something I need to do more of. And I'm always telling myself or having conversation with myself about the importance of that, and how great life is when you are in the moment. Yeah. And when you can be there just with yourself. I forgot exactly what I was thinking about, but I was reflecting on just how important that is, like to have that relationship with yourself, loving yourself, being okay with being alone. Yeah. Right. All those things.
There's a few other things I do. I actually learned this from Dolly Sina. She's an Procter and Gallagher. And it's like you wake up and you hug yourself, but I do this throughout the day anyway. Like you say 3 things, I am kind, I'm giving, caring, or you can say, also 3 things you do, like I'm helpful, I am loving, and I am caring, to other people. But really hug yourself, kiss yourself, like Bob Proctor says, just things like that, I do too.
Like positive self-talk in general.
Oh yeah, in general, in my mind too. When I see a negative thought or something coming, I don't focus on it. I start thinking about something else.
Right. I think meditation is very powerful.
Oh yeah.
Also, I love meditation. That's one of my go-tos. That along with deep breathing. You mentioned I think it was belly exercises or just deep breathing in general.
Yeah. I recently learned there's a 4x4 breathing exercise, 4 seconds in,
hold it,
4 seconds, let it out. And then there's the full inhale, full exhale, hold it and then fully blow it out of your mouth. Some people only do through nose, but I do inhale through nose, exhale through mouth. And there is just so much information just at our fingertips. People say social media is bad and this, that. No, it's not. It can be great for you. What is your right.
Right.
Yeah. And it can all be great. It's like, what are you using your phone for? All that information.
Exactly.
You can learn anything on YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's like, well, who are you following on social media, right?
Yeah. Like you're watching
you can,
garbage.
yeah, unfollow that person. You literally have control over that. And I think that's where self-control comes in, right? Not many people have that, or just anything,
I don't believe people have
determination.
healthy boundaries. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't.
boundaries. That's huge.
No. I love saying no. You want me to do something on here? No. I have to take care of myself. Like, I don't explain myself. I say yes or no. I had one person block me recently because I stated, I told them to see my show. They wanted to see if I was a good fit. I said, hey, well, you can look at my channel, see if I'm a good fit. They wanted to have a conversation. I'm not just going to give my time like that. And I said, no. And they blocked me. That's fine. I knew from the beginning, you're not right for me. That's why I said no.
And they end up blocking you for that?
They blocked me because I said no to having a one-on-one Zoom meeting when they haven't checked out my content yet. Okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You want me to come on your show, but you haven't even looked at the work that I do. That's not very respectful.
It doesn't make sense either when you said they had a show themselves and both of you wanted to exchange, but that's interesting.
I didn't know them. They're following me. They wanted me to come on their show, but they want to do like I believe a pre-chat, like a one-on-one. But I said, to see if they're right fit, I said, to avoid having that one-on-one, you can check out my channel, see if it's a right fit, for your show.
Right.
And they blocked me. So
you would think they would be understanding of everything, being that
there's so many people. Okay. I'm not able to do one-on-ones. I need to give my time to myself and the things that I'm creating to that, you can check out my channel. If I'm a good fit, send me the form. It's that easy. If you I said no, I didn't say anything more than the word no. It depends how people's perceive it. It could be another time or something, but at this time, the answer is no. I'm not here for everybody, I'm not here for every single show. Okay. Yeah, that's just what it is.
Except Real Talk with Miguel Rivera. You know what I mean? Picked up. That was a yes right away. I also asked you a bumper sticker or short slogan that's true and its potential is misunderstood and has the ability to make the world a better place.
Oh, what did I say?
You said Dr. Seuss. You quoted Dr. Seuss.
Oh.
To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. I like that.
It reminds me because Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, his book changed Bob Proctor's whole life to what he does now. It's like he always says, in the lesson I'm learning now in the program, Thinking to Results, he said, one person changed his life. So it can happen with you. You can be that one person. You're that one person, for the Dream Big project. I'm the one person for Chai Together. No one else is doing Chai Together. That's my thing.
Yeah, that's true though. No, that's absolutely right. One person or one thing, like anything, one experience, right? Just so many different things that impact us on a daily basis. It kind of reminds me of, or it does remind me of how every decision matters, right? And just kind of every decision that we make on a daily basis leads us into a different direction. And this is one thing that I tell a lot of young people that I come across in schools, because as you're young in school, you tend to think, at least I did, you're invincible and, certain things like that. So that conversation you have with yourself, around your friends, as you grow up, that alone leads you into different directions. And sometimes it's difficult to get out of that, right? Like this reminds me also of how Les Brown talks about auditing your circle and having different social groups, different friends. I think that's an extremely valuable lesson that a lot of people can benefit from at the high school level, like young people. Continuing the conversation regarding young people, auditing your circle is extremely important. And maybe it may be difficult to understand at that stage in development, but just surrounding yourself with the right people I think alone can be very impactful, because it leads you to different things. The group of people that you surround yourself with, the decisions you make, the actions you take, whatever it is that you decide to do, leads us to different things, different people, different experiences. So
Yeah.
every little thing matters. Like they all lead to something.
Yeah, I needed to learn that. I actually didn't know that my whole life. I've been treating every single friend of mine as if they're my best friend. You know, I love them like because of my caring heart.
Right.
Not me. They're not here today. You know what I mean? Survive the storm. But what I'm saying, I learned from Les too. I needed to. It's great. He said, you know, his friends he golfs with or whatever. He has friends he talks about. Let's say I don't know politics. Just an example. Friends he talks about food with. It's like every single person has a category, and that really reminds me that it's okay that you know they're not your best friend. Not everyone's going to be like your best friend or close friend.
Right.
Like, matters to me anymore.
That's a great point. That's a great point. And tying that to just young people, like I feel like I'm always going to young people, just dream big.
Yeah, that's your niche.
Yeah. I think like our friends, like we tend to think everyone we know in high school or in school is going to be there forever. And at least I did, right? And going back to, and I think I speak from my experience. I like using myself as an example. There's no better example to use, right? So I like living from my experience and using me as the testimony or as the example or whatever it may be. So I don't shy away from that at all. I don't shy away from telling my story. You know, speaking engagements, I literally share my testimony in hope of preventing young people from making foolish decisions like myself. And one thing that I used to think in high school was just the friends you grow up with and you graduate with in high school are going to be your friends and kind of your best friends forever. And that's not necessarily the case, right? Once we leave school, we realize like, oh, now this is, you know, now every decision matters, right? As far as there's no more being walked to everything we have to do as far as like, oh, the bell's ringing, oh, do your homework or do this, do that. Once you leave, it's like college, work, you know, something's coming up, but there's so many things that are not discussed at the high school, middle school level that I think should be discussed.
You're doing it. You're making that change.
That's true. Yeah. One, just being super important, especially right now, is like self-care.
Yes. I know we talked about that before.
Right. Just with distance, especially with distance learning. So that's why, we're talking about that, right? Like just the need for that mental health awareness is critical right now. So I think with the program that you want to do and everything regarding that is extremely in need right now. So I hope you continue to push that for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely. Rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
God.
Start the clock. No, there's no clock.
Oh.
All right. Fill in the blank. Vulnerability is
cheese.
Vulnerability is cheese. I love it. You're called to be brave, but the fear is real. You can feel it in your throat. What is the first thing that you do?
Cough.
I
was gonna say deer. I thought something was in my throat. A deer.
What's on your nightstand?
Oh, I don't have a nightstand. This can be my nightstand.
There you go. What's on there? What is that? Books? I see books, candles.
Neville Goddard's like big book. Thinking Into Results. Tonka and honey candle. Orchid candle up there. Self-love candle, actually.
Hey, love that.
and vanilla chestnut, and that's coffee Arabica, real plant. And that in the middle with the glass, well, no one can see this, but unless you do a clip, but it's actually sent over from someone in Hawaii that I purchased from about a tree, as in like grow like a tree, but know when to let go.
What is that on the right? On my screen, it's on the right. It's like is that a painting or a picture? I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a from a local coffee shop. Yeah, it's a painting of like leaves.
Nice.
Frame.
A snapshot of an everyday moment that gives you true joy.
Snapshot of an everyday moment.
That gives you true joy.
Kissing my mom, hugging my mom. Seeing my mom.
That's awesome. I love that. Tell me one thing you are grateful for.
Oh, wow. Breathing.
Oh, I love that. Yes, I'm grateful for that too. Breathing. Pratibha Dey, ladies and gentlemen. Pratibha, thank you for joining us, episode 3 of Real Talk with me.
Namaste.
Thank you, Pratibha.
Thank you, Miguel.
Real blessing. Appreciate it. Appreciate your greatness.